Game is a near sellout here in Nashville, Tennessee. A late arriving crowd, though, because we did have some weather come through just a moment ago. Mark Richt now in his 13th year. 11-1 all time against Vanderbilt. Their last loss to Vandy was back in 2006. And James Franklin, we mentioned earlier, 41 years young, former assistant to Ralph Friedgen. But he has come a long way since his days at East Stroudsburg State. 1995 graduate. And he's changed the culture in a very big way. The expectations here are to get it done regardless of injuries, regardless of holes from a recruiting standpoint. It's time to get the job done. And this is a pivotal game in their season. Marshall Morgan will kick it away for Georgia. They won the toss and deferred. Andre Howell is back deep. Senior, big-time cornerback for this Vanderbilt team in single safety. And the boot is to him at the 4-yard line. Howell is dumped down at the 22-yard line. The stop was made by Josh Harvey Clemens for Georgia. Damian Swan, number 5, has been burned in recent weeks. He's up against Kraus now. Carter Samuels on the crossing pattern, incomplete. Matthews, that pass again looked to be a little bit behind the receiver, and Vanderbilt is a 3-and-out. They needed a good start. That was going to be a catalyst for them today. Conley is up at the top of your screen, his favorite target. And underneath, he goes to Green out of the backfield. Both of these guys are very, very good catching passes coming out of the backfield. And it's a first down for Georgia after an 18-yard gain. 1st and 10. Murray steps up. Could have been intercepted. Very close to being picked. Jake Seelan, 13, the middle linebacker out of Tucker, Georgia, got his mid out there on it. Vanderbilt has scored a touchdown on 77% of it, but Georgia has been very effective with their opportunity. And here's Green making the most of it. Inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Kenny Ladler making the tackle after a 13-yard gain. Looking for Conley. And he stopped at the 4-yard line. Well defensed by Ladler, who's off to a really good start. And Andre Howell, a young man from Port Allen, Louisiana, who could play at the next level.
Open field tackling is so important. Great job by Ladler to be able to come over. A lot of scouts been coming in here and looking at him, and for good reason. The way he breaks on the ball, Howell misses the tackle, but when you have pursuit and fly to the football like Ladler did there, you come up with big plays. Great job by Vandy of forcing the field goal and holding up in the red zone.
Special teams have been an adventure for Georgia. Remember the muff snap that they had in the game with Clemson? Not this time. Morgan puts it through. But emotionally, a win for Vandy after the mistake on the personal foul. We'll be back. They go, hurry up. Quick out to Matthews, and he's got some space. Swan with a late recovery, closing down on him at the sidelines. On first down. Over the middle, Matthews again. He loves that seam route right down Broadway. And by the way, Broadway's not far from this stadium. 17 yards on the reception. 2nd and 13. Carter Samuels decides to tuck it and run. Knocked out just inside the 30 at the 34-yard line. Corey Moore made the stop.
They love power out of this.
Seymour has the first down and then some. Emotions really running high in this one early on. A 5-yard gain.
See Carter Samuels running out to the top of your screen.
Wildcat formation with Seymour now at quarterback. Here we go. A little flip reverse to Matthews. Boy, he may not be fast, but he's a wonderful open field runner, Jordan Matthews. Seymour, nice move, touchdown. As the rain comes down, Vandy gets into the end zone.
Just a simple zone read concept, but at the line of scrimmage, Vandy is getting it done on both sides of the football. And Jerron Seymour may be only 5'7", but he showed big skills on that last one, punching it ahead for the go-ahead touchdown.
Yet another incredible story that this Vanderbilt football team has in its special teams. Kerry Spear. He's in for the extra point. More on that coming later. As an 11-play, 76-yard drive culminates with Jerron Seymour taking it into the end zone. All set up by Jordan Matthews, doing what he does. From Madison, Alabama. Happy to get that last roster spot in scholarship a couple of years back. And yeah, that Manziel story is going to get very interesting if he continues with his heroics later this afternoon. Over the middle, well defended, deflected beautifully in the perimeter by Darian Herring, the linebacker. These linebackers, a trio of sophomores, have gotten a trial by fire. This is a wonderful play.
Yeah, Conley gets inside of Hal, trying to find the hole in the defense, and the ball hits Conley right in his hands. You've got to be able to make that catch. Georgia's been in some 3rd and long situations, and that's a big one that they needed to move the chains.
Herring did tip it, though. Samuels throwing underneath, and again, underthrown, but with a lot of pressure, too. Krause was the intended receiver. Rebound Hicks. Here's the fullback who looks to open a hole for him, and he does. All the way to a first down. Just as we mentioned it, Georgia finally gets what they could not have earlier. Javon Marshall, number 31, makes the tackle, leading the charge.
Timmy, the thing that's shocking me the most is that Vanderbilt is controlling this line of scrimmage and making it very hard for Georgia to run the football.
Loss of 3, so 2nd and 13, and the pitch is to Douglas into the boundary. Look at him go. Yet another first down inside the 20 at the 18. Getting to the end of the first quarter as Douglas finds an absolute huge hole. He takes it all the way to the goal line. Could it be a touchdown? That late surge almost got him in there. Stephen Clark finally corralled him. They'll rule him inches away from the goal line.
Tim, I've been a part of so many games where you just get tired of not playing the way that you want to play. Boy. Brendan Douglas is a true freshman, is setting the tone for these guys.
Yeah, they went quick. They went fast. And Murray burrows in for the touchdown. Well, they got Vanderbilt on their heels, and much like a Drew Brees, in sensing that, Murray hurried to the line of scrimmage and got the ball into the end zone.
Both of these teams do an excellent job of running tempo, but you see nobody being set on that Vanderbilt defensive line. Aaron Murray keeps the ball and gets Georgia back on the board with a much-needed touchdown.
Just as we touched on their inability to run the football, they go power all the way from really midfield into the Commodores' end zone and take the lead. 7 runs on that 8-play drive. And at the end of the first quarter, the Dogs lead it 10-7. We'll return to Nashville after this message and a word from your local CBS station.
In that time by Vandy.
He's a hot and cold guy to some extent. When he warms up, he can throw it with the best of them. And I think because he's had such a good year statistically, a chance to go mano-a-mano with a guy like Murray is special for him too. Krause, he's got it. Acrobatic catch at the 39-yard line of Georgia.
Very little pressure from Georgia today. Remember how young they are. Big reason why they did so well last year is because Todd Grantham was coming after guys.
There's Krause again. Another first down. Ushered out by Armando Herrera, 52. 12-yard gain, another first down. Whether his hand's on the ground or not. Samuels swings it out. Tate's got it. And he's got a little convoy in front of him with the help of Krause. Ushered out of bounds at the 20-yard line, a 7-yard gain.
You can judge how good a receiver is by what he does when he doesn't have the football in his hands. Jonathan Krause, number 17, was doing his boy a solid out there as Jordan Matthews caught the football, doing a great job blocking.
Personal foul, targeting, number 47 of the defense. Helmet to a defenseless player. Number 47 by rule is disqualified.
Wow.
The previous play is under further review.
Well, it will be reviewed, and remember, many of these have been overturned. coming late for Drew. But again, this one at the sidelines. Our replay official is Mike McGinnis, and he will be taking a long look at this.
It can't be that there.
No, that is it. That's the one they called. Not at the sidelines, right there. Now, you have to, again, consider intent. The blow is to the head. If the referee's decision, and remember, they're taught to throw it when in doubt. If there's any doubt whatsoever, throw it. And then it's up to the replay official to determine whether, in fact, it should be held up and ineligibility is, in fact, in question. My guess is, having looked at that, it will be overturned.
They better hope they overturn it. There's going to be a mutiny in this stadium. Ray Drew does a great job of beating the right guard, Spencer Pulley, right off the snap. Pulley has to hold him a little bit. I don't even know if I thought it was that late, but it certainly wasn't targeting.
Let's listen.
After further review, the ruling is confirmed. Number 47 is disqualified.
There you go. See, it's very difficult with this particular rule to speculate. Anything above the head, above the shoulders, and there is contact to the headgear. And, you know, we can debate this, and we'll debate it all the way through the offseason to see if they tweak it.
We're going to debate it during this game.
At some point in time. No player shall initiate contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent. Obviously, helmet, forearm, hand, fist, all of that. Rule 9, Section 1, Article 4. I have talked with Steve Shaw about this, the supervisor of SEC officials. There have been many that have gone into the gray area and been overturned that looked, in my opinion, to be far worse than that.
And it looked like the referee had his hand on the flag, and it looked like he was trying to throw the hold at first and then just continued on with the motion and threw it against Drew.
And now moves on the pre-snap read up to the top of your screen, and he is one-on-one with Damian Swan. Looks like a mismatch. Connor Samuels tucks it instead and takes it down near the 2. Well, he was looking for his favorite target. James DeLoach, 89, makes the tackle. And we've got a 4th and goal. And it looks as though Kerry Spear is going to make his way out. Kerry Spear from 20 yards out of the hold of Taylor Hudson. Holds a fake. Touchdown. How about that? Kerry Spear knew he might have his opportunity. Hudson did too. How about that? James Franklin said it's kitchen sink time. Well, it wasn't a pass that Hudson had an opportunity to pull off, but it was a handoff. And Spear took it right into the end zone.
Is there any reason why you think playing for James Franklin isn't fun? He told us in our meetings, if we want to win this game, we have to be aggressive. If we want to win it all, we got to risk it all. And they did right there and executed that trick play beautifully.
Young man that had to quit soccer, Kerry Spear, because of a heart issue, and has overcome it. But the targeting call against Ray Drew spawned this drive. He's ejected from the rest of this game. Mark Richt had a conversation. It wasn't pretty once he got the news, and it became even less attractive when the punter gave it to the place kicker for the touchdown. Vanderbilt leads it. CBS Sports coverage of Home Depot SEC football continues after this word from your local station. Vanderbilt's pre-snap movement getting to Aaron Murray just a bit. Dumps it underneath the Hicks, just nothing there. Darian Herring makes the tackle, and this is a pumped-up Vanderbilt defense right now.
Look at all those black jerseys flying to the football, Timmy. That is pursuit. That is when you know you're humming as a defense. Quavon Hicks gets this football. He's got one defender, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The entire team is coming over to get these Georgia backs down on the ground. And when you can pursue the football like that as a defense, you're going to get yourself off the field a whole lot. Watch zone read here.
Matthews Out ahead to the 30-yard line. Let's go back to the studio in New York. This Liberty Mutual Insurance update. Adam. Ryan Kimbrough has moved in at setback. Actually ran into Carter Samuels. He still makes the pass, and it's Trent Pruitt. Pruitt out ahead of the 45 to the 47. Another first down. Well, what they have done, it seems, is force Georgia now to be thinking not just about the vertical part of the game, but also the width as they go. A little Emery and Henry. Intercepted by Shaq Wiggins. Take that for your kitchen sink. Pretty sure they knew this was coming. This is why you go to the film room, right?
No question. Shaq Wiggins, the true freshman, smelled that from a mile away. Austin Carter Samuels, they tried to run hurry up there, but you can't afford to throw that football and get Georgia some life so early.
Morgan with the extra point. We've got a flag down. Yeah, that is a byproduct of the old Emery and Henry. Steve Spurrier used to run that all the time. And it's not as if James Franklin hasn't used it before. Georgia certainly was ready for it. And give the freshman Wiggins a ton of credit for. Here, let's get the call.
False start on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
Talk about changing the course and the momentum of this game midway through the second quarter, just as Vanderbilt was going in their own minds for the kill to get a 2-score lead. The interception returned for a touchdown.
And that's only Georgia's second interception on the year, Timmy, and that defensive line was still running over there late. Shaq Wiggins single-handedly could have turned this football game around. Number 6, when you need big plays on the road, you got to get turnovers, and none may be bigger than what Shaq Wiggins has done. Georgia Bulldogs feeling good and back in this one.
Seymour dotting the I behind Carter Samuels. Play fake. Carter Samuels dump. That's the first sack of the afternoon. Nice work by Jordan Jenkins, 59. He's been up and down this season, having to replace Jarvis Jones, and you see an injured Austin Carter Samuels. About the afterlife, if you believe, and I certainly do, the fact that I surprised my grandfather last week during the bye week, it means everything to me. It comforts him. And here's Hatton Robinette in at quarterback now. Out of the backfield, Seymour. And Jerron Seymour out to near the 20-yard line. 8-yard pickup. Leonard Floyd all over the place, again making the tackle. And Vanderbilt will be forced to punt.
Great first play call for Robinette, but Carter Samuels, man, Timmy, they need him.
Well, they have not, in the 3 years that Franklin has been here. Now, Jordan Rogers was here a season ago, and you remember that name well. A brother, pretty stout quarterback in the National Football League. They have not had the same quarterback in back-to-back years. A lot of pressure from Georgia there with Reggie Davis back deep. They do get a healthy bounce, but they're going to rule it out of bounds at the Georgia 46-yard line. We talk about the East being up for grabs and perhaps a 2-loss team winning it. Injuries part of it. James Franklin was having an incredible year. Separates his shoulder last week in victory. Some bad news for Mizzou. Then from Gurley missing the last 3 games with an ankle sprain. And of course, Florida losing Jeff Driscoll with a broken leg last month against Tennessee. And now Austin Carter Samuels. Will we see him again this afternoon? J.J. Green in at tailback on first down. Murray has Conley, who figures to be the guy he'd go to most in critical situations, the junior from Dallas, having a very solid season. Part of the impact, but all of the leg was in question, no question. And Brendan Douglas takes it down to the 25-yard line, and we've got another Commodore on the deck. 1 of 5 on third down conversions. Murray That's complete to Davis at the 11-yard line. An 11-yard pickup. Murray, little hitch, has room. Boy, he lowered his head and got hammered at the 2-yard line. Jake Sealand, the middle linebacker, with the tackle. And you hear the Georgia crowd now. They're being heard from because of the manner of the hit and the blow to the upper body. But remember, the Georgia player is not defenseless when he's running and trying to get into the end zone.
And Sealand used his right shoulder with his head to the side.
3rd and 1 from the 2. Can get the first down without the touchdown.
Vandy historically down here inside the 5-yard line has brought pressure, but you have to stay in your lanes.
Murray, Conley, got it. He's going to be down just shy of the end zone. They're going to rule the knee down before he put the ball in, but that will be a first down.
After further review, the ruling is the runner caught the pass and was down at the 1.5-yard line, which did not result in a first down. It will be 4th down and half a yard.
Murray, runner pass, he'll take it in, touchdown. Brilliant play, and why not leave it in his hands? With the option to throw it or run it.
Run-pass conflict, Timmy, is the hardest thing for a defense to do because you can't defend everything. Right here, you see him. He's got great opportunity and great run lanes. Vandy did respond. They did pick up the right receivers, but what that did is it created a void that Aaron Murray used his legs to find and get the touchdown.
Marshall Morgan for the extra point. After a fake field goal, Vanderbilt had control. Then came an interception return for touchdown. And then Aaron does what he always does in a critical situation. Dogs lead it by 10. I'd say this is a prevent look from Todd Grantham, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and sometimes a prevent prevents you from winning, but in a situation like this,
wow,
you got to be careful. But keep your eye on number 87, 6'3", Jordan Matthews.
Robinette hit by Herrera as he lets it go, and it's incomplete. And we've come to the intermission, with Georgia leading Vanderbilt by a score of 24-14. The ebb and flow of this game changed when Coach Franklin decided to have one more trick play that went the other way for the Georgia Bulldogs, courtesy Shaq Wiggins. The momentum was all Vanderbilt's when Drew was hit with the targeting. The Commodores went down and scored on the fake field goal. And then, shortly thereafter, the Georgia Bulldogs take in a touchdown on an interception return, and then Murray takes it in on the 4th down play to seize control of this one, 24-14. Quick slant to Conley, ahead for a first down, out to the 36-yard line. Kenny Ladler, the free safety, makes the stop. Again, that pass is incomplete. Going for the quick slant for Wooten. Could have been picked off. Stephen Clark made the hit, and on the tip drill, Vanderbilt could have had a big play. So mission accomplished for the Commodores. They surrender 1 first down.
On this offense, Lassing's a glorified guard.
Nice catch by Matthews. Ahead to the 33-yard line. Call it 12. In trouble and sacked. Jordan Jenkins gets through, number 59. That's a good coverage sack by the Bulldogs secondary. Simply couldn't find anyone open. For Georgia.
The bring 5.
And again the slant. Complete to Conley. And he's into Vanderbilt territory at the 40-yard line. Now let's go back to the studio for a forward update.
Got to be able to control that line of scrimmage like they did early on in this game if you're the Commodores.
Douglas again, huge hole. Look at that, yards after contact too by Double Deuce.
Aaron Murray redirecting protections.
Douglas McGowan, 27, with the catch at the 6-yard line. And they almost didn't get this play off.
Mark Richt not liking what he sees, about to make a touchdown. No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, thank God. Good job, guys. Good job. That would execute.
Green, the lone setback.
They're showing it off the slot, but I don't think they can run it down here.
For Conley, knocked away by Andre Howe.
That was a fire zone look, and they dropped Walker May, who may have tipped that ball, Timmy.
Well, still fantastic coverage by the senior from Port Allen, Louisiana.
No question. C28 coming off the edge there. Andre Howe running step for step with Conley. And Conley's had a lot of balls in his hands that he's dropped. But again, credit this Vanderbilt defense for forcing the field goal.
Marshall Morgan from 23 yards away. Georgia extends their lead, but the Vanderbilt defense comes away thinking, hey, we've hung in there, kept this at 2 scores. That's the veteran Conley, but Andre Howe said, nuh-uh, not going to let it happen. They settle for 3. Seymour trying to stretch it out. Oh, did he will himself to that first down? That is just waiting for some blocking, being patient, and then running heavy. Second and a long 4. Again, they go Wildcat with Robinette flanking to the top of the screen. Seymour is patient this time. Sets sail down the sidelines inside the Georgia 45. Down to the 42, 17 yards. And it really takes some pressure off Robinette, who's now being called upon to do a lot in this second half, bringing his team from down 13. Quick out, it's picked off. Tipped right into the air and picked off.
Looked like Corey Moore, number 39, the strong safety, came up with that one.
Yep, he did.
And it wasn't Robinette's fault.
He put it right where he needed to.
Yes, he did. Vandy's got a ton in the box. Georgia's got to throw it here.
Murray had to just get rid of that one. That's more coverage than anything else. He had to dump it. Pressure was coming late. You got to get Krause and you got to get Matthews unleashed.
Turning into a coach, calling guys by numbers.
Robinette incomplete, trying to go underneath to Matthews. Colby Cook will boot this one away. Youngster from Virginia gets it off inside his 10. Damian Swan loses it. There's the break Vanderbilt needed. It's a muff, so it will come back to the 36-yard line. And the recovery by Torrin McGaster, number 5, redshirt freshman from Daphne, Alabama.
The old third phase of the game rearing its ugly head for the Georgia Bulldogs once again, Tim. We talked about special teams and the roles that's played. Damian Swan's had plenty of problems defending passes. This time he has trouble fielding a punt.
Well, we touched on the woes for Georgia, particularly in special team play. It's happened to them over and over again this season. And now, Robinette with a chance to get something done.
And on a sudden change situation, take a shot, go vertically. That's their weakness. Attack it and continue that momentum.
Robinette running out of time. Felt the pressure, goes the other way, and there's Matthews. He has it at the 31-yard line. Now, nice ad-lib job there.
Great job of him reversing field when he felt the pressure. Had he continued to his left, he would have been sacked. But Matthews kind of run a listless route, was lazy on it, but then kicked it into gear and found a way to catch it.
Into the third, Georgia by 13. But Damian Swan's problems continues, whether being torched in the secondary or turning it over in special teams. We'll be back with the fourth.
Run it.
Robinette tucks it, gets it up to about the 30, and that is all.
He had an opportunity, Timmy, to scramble that a little bit before. There was a hole in the defense, but credit Georgia for good coverage. Look for Georgia to be aggressive here. Remember, this is a backup quarterback.
He's got time, and he just had it dislodged. It was Kraus that got hammered, and here comes the flag. Might we have targeting again? It was Rameek Wilson, 51, that hit him.
That flag was so late, and you heard the reaction of the crowd. You have to wonder if there was some influence there by the fans' reaction.
Well, they're going to discuss it. If there's any doubt, they're going to throw the flag. That's the instruction. Mike McGinnis, the replay official, then will be called upon to do perhaps what he had to do with Ray Drew earlier. And I did take time at halftime to speak with Mike McGinnis about it. And had Drew held up a little or just wrapped up the quarterback. Here we go.
Personal foul, targeting number 51 of a defenseless player. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It is
Previous
targeting.
play is under
They will look at it.
Here he is right here.
Wow.
To me, that's right shoulder again. Great reaction by Rameek Wilson to double team and rob underneath and then come back over on Kraus. That's the way he patrolled the middle.
Yeah, that's a much more pronounced shoulder hit.
Oh
Nowhere.
Gosh, you can't do anything better than that if you're Rameek Wilson.
After further review, the ruling is reversed. Number 51 may remain in the game.
There you have it. But it is first down. So a lot of damage done simply by the first down being given.
And you mentioned the controversy of the play. By definition, if that wasn't targeting, then therefore, ergo, it's a legitimate legal hit. So why do you continue to assess the penalty? That's something I think the competition committee is going to look at strongly in the offseason, and they should.
And by the way, why not have some officials on the rules committee? The coaches are the ones that are on the rules committee. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Quick out. Matthews has got it with a blocker, and he's inside the 10. Knocked out by Quincy Malger, number 20.
And for that, I applaud him.
Robinette decides to tuck it, and he's just shy of the first down. He's at the 6. The line to make the 5.
Trying to hard cap him and draw him off sides.
Seymour. He will see more. 1st and goal. Now they've got options.
Now I think they hurry up, try and get up on the ball. Georgia's subbing guys in and out. Hit the gas pedal now. This is a great way for Vanderbilt to take back over this momentum.
Actually marked at the 2. 2nd and goal. Robinette again. Touchdown, Vanderbilt. Patton Robinette converts after Vanderbilt, along with some good fortune, is able to cash in. 2 big moments. The muff punt by Swan, and then the foul that was called against Rameek Wilson. Targeting, no. Personal foul, assessed, keeping the drive alive. And Kerry Spear on for the extra point.
And that was an important foul because Vanderbilt had trouble converting on 3rd down, and that penalty was a huge hook for him.
36 yards on 9 plays after the muff. Wilson does stay in the game. He gets to ride a bike rather than go to the locker. On the minus side of turnovers, Georgia with another on special teams. And the guys that have the star walk go to the stars. The big hit causes a foul that is assessed while reversed as targeting, which will be discussed in the offseason. But for now, Vanderbilt right back in it. Douglas, the lone setback. Here comes pressure. He gets it away, incomplete. It was Herring again, who's having a marvelous game. Darian Herring knocking it away.
That was Kenneth Towns on the drop. Again, the physical nature of this Vanderbilt defense is what's making a difference. Vanderbilt, their defensive coordinator, Bob Shute, dialing up pressure, and once again, it pays off. And Aaron Murray so far today, only 102 yards passing.
Jerron Seymour dots the I behind Quintero, the H-back. First down for Robinette. Looking long, taking his shot. He's got his man. And guess who they're picking on? Swan in defense could not stay with Krause. 41 yards. Robinette's pass is caught by Krause at the 15. First down, Commodores.
Tim, what Vanderbilt is doing is they're using Jordan Matthews as a decoy. It's been Krause, particularly on this drive, that's stepping up Georgia's rolling coverage to try and take away 87. And number 17 is showing up big. You see there, they got 3 guys trying to take number 7, which leaves 17 wide open. Jonathan Krause, great job picking up the first down.
Now they find Matthews. Just allow him some room to get those open gates rolling with a couple of blockers in front.
Georgia's been very vanilla. Do they come after this young quarterback? Looked like it manned up on the outside edge.
Robinette's in trouble. The one thing you didn't want to do was give up a sack. And Ramik Wilson just got a big one. 13-yard loss. He knows it. He'd love to have that play back.
With the way that their defense has been playing, it depends how much they get on this next play.
Looking for Krause. Ball is tipped by Swan. Give him credit. Damian Swan, guilty of the turnover, guilty of being burned for 41 yards on this drive, knocks it away from Krause, who had a step on him in the end zone.
You're absolutely right, Tim. Excellent job by Damian Swan. One of the very rare vertical shots that Vanderbilt has taken, and I think rightfully so. You didn't pick up any yardage on that third down. Take the points.
Well, do we see another fake? do we or don't we?
I think this would be a great time to run it. You got him once. And remember, the holder, Taylor Hudson, was a high school quarterback, number 29.
They'll try from 40 yards. This would close the gap, and does, to 3, which is important. You're playing at home, right? You'd love to have overtime, right?
No question. And your defense is playing great, coming up with stops. Georgia, with a little over 4 minutes left, has a chance to put this game on ice.
Butler blitzing. Douglas takes it. He's stuffed. I'm a little surprised in the play calling in that sequence for Georgia.
Man.
The door has certainly been left open by Georgia. High snap. Special teams problems. Vanderbilt will have it at the 13-yard line. Special team woes continue to be a huge storyline for Mark Richt's team.
Especially since they can still get the first down here as well.
Seymour. Jerron Seymour gives Vanderbilt the lead.
Look at the defense, Tim. Stunned.
I mean, you talk about quick feet. That's a little dance and go. Dance and go.
Let go of me. Tim's up here grabbing me, trying to do some dance moves to imitate Seymour. But you're right. That stutter step, and it was his acceleration. That's what he's so good at. Once that hole opens, he hits it.
He gave him a little dangle leg and then went.
It's called the dead leg, baby.
Maybe the Ickey Woods shuffle from back in the day. That was incredible. 16 carries, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns for Jerron Seymour. Spear with the extra point. And Georgia will now be forced to score a touchdown. 17 straight points for the Vanderbilt Commodores. Another mistake. Barber could not reel it in off the high snap. Ron Seymour says, I'll give you this left leg and then use both to get into the end zone. These zone concepts have really given Murray a hard time. That pass incomplete, incidental, but yes, contact by Andre Howell. And the veteran will get tagged with interference against Conley.
Great call, but that was a mistake by Andre Howell. He was breaking on the ball and he got his feet tangled.
Yeah, it was.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Includes an automatic first down.
Unintentional, intentional mistake here, right?
It doesn't matter whether it's intentional or not. He just grabs the legs of Conley. Howell was all over that. He was breaking on the football. That's a big break for Georgia.
He was smelling a pick and then tried to pull back. Committed the foul. Brendan Douglas in the backfield for Georgia on first down. He's got it underneath. Oh, it's the football. Vanderbilt's got it. Andre Howell. Redemption for the young man from Louisiana. He's the man that told us Coach Franklin had our back when he did what he did 2 years ago in the aftermath of that game with Todd Grantham. We lined up behind him because he had our back. Well, here, after the mistake, the senior is right where he needed to be.
Great job by Jake Seelan, the middle linebacker who's filling in for Chase Garnham, finding a way to make a play. But, Tim, we said it, the very first thing we talked about at the top of the show was the freshman stepping up, and here you have Robinette, who can't even watch, hoping he can find a way that his defense can make a play, and they came up for him big time. But the supporting cast of Aaron Murray and this Georgia Bulldog offense is letting them down again.
Here in the second half. Out of the game for targeting. Seymour again to about the 28-yard line before his forward progress is stopped.
Jerome Seymour carries to the right side.
45 yards the attempt. Hudson, as we mentioned, is a former high school quarterback, and he's holding the punter. And the boot is hooked and leaves time remaining and a 4-point lead. So if Murray can work some late magic, Georgia can come out of here. That one will be one to remember. Spear, sometimes you get out in front of it when the adrenaline's really flowing. These young men have been waiting for that signature win for 2013. James Franklin getting 9 last year was amazing, but this one would be arguably the biggest ever for him in this stadium. Murray.
This is it. Last play of the game.
That will do it. Vanderbilt gets their first win over a ranked opponent in 6 years. Javon Marshall ends it with the pick. And Conley is down on the final play of the game. Is that not symbolic of the way the season has gone for Georgia?
Oh, man.
Austin Carter Samuels celebrating. The two coaches meet. What an incredible game. Vanderbilt wins it for Aaron Taylor. Allie LaForce, Tim Brando saying so long from Nashville. Our final 31-27 Vanderbilt coming up next. 24th ranked Auburn visits Johnny Football and the 7th ranked Aggies of Texas A&M. For our entire crew, Tim Brando saying so long. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.